You're watching News 4 San Antonio.
Here's what things look like right now on radar. The snow is falling in the hill country right now, and it's only going to get colder. There is snow on the ground in South Texas. Some parts southwest of San Antonio, we're still getting snowflakes into the afternoon. News 4 San Antonio's Zach Hedrick is live in Carrizo Springs to tell us how people have been enjoying the winter surprise.
It wasn't expected.
You don't see that very often.
But it's certainly welcome.
It's gorgeous, guy. You don't see it, especially on these oak trees, man, it's gorgeous.
Snow was still falling into the afternoon in some areas, making Crystal City look like the inside of a snow globe.
Exactly, beautiful. Hey, who would expect that?
Roy Lopez was born here and says the last time it snowed here was in the mid-'80s.
This is nothing new to me. I was raised in Chicago. Well, not raised, but I went to high school and junior high in Chicago College as well.
As temperatures climbed, the melting snow created some messy spots on the road in Carrizo Springs. Maria Muñez still had to come into work.
Yesterday at work.
But that didn't stop her from having fun.
Can't make it all about work.
With temperatures in the 70s on Monday, Muñez says a lot of people were surprised this morning.
And my brother and my dad and them called me up and like, hey, you need to go outside. It's a white Christmas. There it is.
Around here, the expectation for the winter months is a cooled off version of summer. But the snow makes for what Muñez calls an exciting change.
We didn't even think we were going to have a winter.
And all of this has been melting this afternoon. This field used to be covered, and people around here are concerned about all the stuff on the roads refreezing overnight. For more on that, I'll send it to Albert Flores in the Weather Center. Albert?
Well, they were fortunate indeed, Zach, out towards the west. Now the new batch of cold air is bringing in some snow up into the hill country. We've been seeing our Kerrville camera showing some flakes, and then all the way back down towards Bernie and northern Bexar County. So finally we might get a shot at this. Let's take a look at TransGuide. Right now TransGuide really isn't showing much. RoadCam is out there this afternoon. Most of what we're seeing is just wet streets. However, as the evening progresses and it gets colder, other situations come up. We'll take you back to our graphics system. So we have a freeze warning in effect for our area, including San Antonio, from midnight to 9 a.m. Why that's a problem is because all this rain that's fallen and or snow will now begin to freeze on the roads, and that could be a bigger problem. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show.
All right, Albert, thank you. And you bring up a really good point. This is a TransGuide shot at I-10 in Camp Bullis, just on that line where the snow is coming in. So if these roads do get way too cold, they'll freeze over. So really be careful there right now on your commute home. Also, those living in Eagle Pass are making sure they document all this snow. Take a look at all these images powered by Banjo. It looks like a winter wonderland as snow blankets parts of our area. Keep those pics coming. We want to see them. We'll continue our weather coverage of this winter blast in just a bit. Making headlines tonight, though, the so-called killer nurse, Janine Jones, pleaded not guilty for the murder of 5 babies here in Bexar County. Jones was already in prison for the death of a Kerrville baby in the 1980s, and now she's accused of killing 5 others here. Our Amanda Weber was in the courtroom today. I imagine it was an emotional day for so many of those family members.
It was emotional. It was a packed courthouse as 67-year-old Janine Jones went up to the judge there in a wheelchair and pled not guilty to these charges. She didn't say a word. Her attorney handled it all.
These are the 5 babies Bexar County District Attorneys say were murdered by Janine Jones in 1981.
We are eager to take these cases to trial and hold Miss Jones accountable for the callous murders of Joshua Sawyer, Rosemary Vega, Richard Ricky Nelson, Patrick Zavala, and Paul Villarreal.
Today, Janine Jones, in a wheelchair with a medical mask over her face, appeared in court.
We're on a plea of not guilty.
Jones was sentenced to 99 years in prison in 1984 for the murder of a Kerrville baby. She's been accused of killing up to 60 babies from the late 70s to early 80s. And before these 5 charges she now faces, she was scheduled to be released from prison in March of 2015 because of a mandatory release law at the time of her conviction.
She's been incarcerated for over 30 years. So that in and of itself should tell you something about her, probably about her state of mind.
Today, the families of the 5 babies, clearly shaken by seeing Jones in court today, weren't ready to comment. LaHood says a plea deal is a possibility.
At this point, it's kind of premature in terms to talk about plea offers. At this point, we just kind of have to do due diligence, continue our research, and to represent our client.
And Jones could face life in prison for each murder charge she is facing. She will not be sent back to Gatesville. She will remain here at the Bexar County Jail. Back to you.
All right, Amanda, thank you. The man accused of sexually assaulting multiple women in and around the medical center appeared in front of a judge today. Anton Harris will be in court again at a later date to determine whether or not he'll go to trial for the charges against him.
Hey, developing now, 3 people are dead and at least a dozen others hurt after a shooting at a high school in New Mexico. The shooter is among the dead. Police aren't revealing many details, but say the shooter and the 2 other people killed were all students at the school.
I'm Emily Bauckham, the live desk. Just got word from San Marcos police. A man accused of sexually assaulting a teenager just arrested in Mexico. 56-year-old Jesus Delgado accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl in a San Marcos motel room. Been on the run since August, ultimately found in Monterrey. Also, 2 pieces of big breaking news from the U.S. Capitol. Let's come back to me on camera and I'll show you what's going on. First, Congress has just passed a funding bill to prevent the government from shutting down this weekend. That's what they're doing live right now. That bill is now headed to the president's desk. It keeps the government running for 2 more weeks. Also, we just got word that another congressman expected to resign. NBC reporting amid allegations of inappropriate behavior. Representative Trent Franks, an 8-term Republican from Arizona. Michael?
All right, Emily, across the nation tonight, a Virginia state task force has released its final report on how the state responded to the August white nationalist rally in Charlottesville. The report points out problems with Virginia State Police and Charlottesville Police developing separate plans for managing the Unite the Right rally. Virginia's governor says he will propose legal legislation that will allow communities to ban weapons at protests.
We ought to have a right, a local jurisdiction should say, you can come and protest, and I may not like what you're going to say, but you do not have a right to come here and threaten and put us in extreme danger by allowing firearms to be present.
The city says it looks forward to working with partners at the state level to better respond to future events. Today, Senator Al Franken announced he is resigning from the U.S. Senate. The Minnesota Democrats' resignation comes after several women stepped forward accusing Franken of inappropriate behavior. He made his announcement on Capitol Hill today, where he called out the president.
I, of all people, am aware that there is some irony in the fact that I am leaving while a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault sits in the Oval Office, and a man who has repeatedly preyed on young girls campaigns for the Senate with the full support of his party.
President Trump was repeatedly accused of sexual assault during his presidential campaign, and Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore faces accusations that he pursued relationships with teenagers while he was in his 30s.
FBI Director Christopher Wray appeared before the House Judiciary Committee today. His testimony comes days after President Trump tweeted Comey left the Bureau's reputation, quote, in tatters.
Congressman, there is no shortage of opinions out there. What I can tell you is that the FBI that I see is tens of thousands of agents and analysts and staff working their tails off to keep Americans safe from the next terrorist attack, gang violence, child predators, spies from Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran.
Well, the hearing also comes amidst the recent revelation over the weekend. An FBI official was removed from Robert Mueller's probe over the summer for allegedly exchanging anti-Trump text messages with an FBI lawyer, drawing questions over any potential bias into the Mueller investigation. Still to come tonight, here at 5, a daring rescue caught on camera will tell you why this man is so upset. Well, caught on camera, shoplifters dragging a security guard through a New Jersey mall parking lot. Look at that video. The guard saw the three women in the mall and suspected that they were stealing. He followed them out to their car, but when he confronted them, they sped off, dragging him a short distance. The guard suffered cuts and a concussion in that fall.
And check out this video that is going viral. A California man gets way too close to the wildfires there to save a rabbit. A news photographer captured that daring rescue. The man pulled off the highway and ran to grab the rabbit, but it hopped towards the fire. He eventually managed to pick it up and hold on to it until he got back to his truck.
Lucky rabbit, right? Another image from the California wildfires is going viral tonight. That is Adam and Julie Myers in the middle of what's left of their home in Ventura County. They lost everything in this fire, but in the ashes, they found her wedding ring. So Adam decided it was time to marry his bride once again. He dropped to one knee and proposed right there and then. Their stuff is just stuff, but their love for each other clearly is priceless.
Incredible. Hey, coming up here on News 4 San Antonio at 5, we'll have more on the raging wildfires burning in Southern California, including evacuations and wind conditions.
Well, things are certainly changing. You can see the snow falling up in Kerrville. Wow, and we've got another view of that coming up in just a few seconds. What are your chances of seeing snow? I'll let you know zone by zone.
I'm Emily Balcom at the live desk. We just got word from SAPD about a man who's gone missing. 64-year-old Ferris Hodge Jr. He was last seen yesterday on the north side near Almas Park. He rides the bus downtown for work every day. If you see him, call the Missing Persons Unit at 210-207-7660. Also want to show you some more pictures we just got into our newsroom from Hondo Police, sharing security photos of a man believed to have stolen power tools from Hondo High School. If you recognize this man or his car, give Medina County Crime Stoppers a call, 1-800-367-2833. And back here at the live desk, want to show you what it's looking like on TransGuide I-10 and Camp Bullis Road. You can see that the very wet, windy conditions have created a heck of a commute home, so be safe out there. Back to you.
All right, Emily, thank you. At least 4 wind-fueled wildfires north and west of Los Angeles are still 0% contained tonight. The fires have forced hundreds of thousands of evacuations in the Ventura and Los Angeles areas.
And Delane, the biggest of those fires is the Thomas Fire. It has destroyed hundreds of homes. This is a live picture right now from Ventura County, about 100 miles from Los Angeles.
We're sifting through the rubble. We're looking for some valuables for my wife to, well, improve her spot. Not what we thought was going to be happening.
And those refusing to evacuate now facing danger from the smoke choking the air and shortages of food and water, with most of Ventura County now under a boil advisory. And California's color-coded wind system is now at purple, the highest level. It's never been at that before. Fire officials say wind speeds could reach up to 80 miles per hour. Nathan O'Neill is in Southern California as people return to neighborhoods ravaged by these fires.
We are in Santa Paula, which is about an hour northwest of Los Angeles, and as you can tell, the winds, they are starting to pick up here as they spread ashes and embers throughout the air. And if you take a look behind me there, you can see some of the flames starting to crest over the hillsides as firefighters rush to put it out. Terrifying images alongside a major freeway in Los Angeles. Part of Interstate 405 temporarily shut down as a wildfire burned dangerously close to the freeway. It's just one of several fires scorching Southern California, raging out of control, forcing evacuations, shutting down schools, and causing widespread power outages. John Camilli lost his apartment along with 150 others.
I had a garden hose set up out there thinking I was going to battle this thing. But after a couple of minutes of that and getting hit by hot embers, I said, screw it, got in the car and headed out of here.
The latest loss in the largest fire, the Thomas Fire, burning in Ventura County, an hour's drive northwest of Los Angeles.
Some people were saying it was traveling a football field a second.
The smoke is even visible from space. And firefighters are not only fighting flames, but dry conditions, coupled with strong Santa Ana winds, which are expected to pick up speed through the night.
Greatest threat is and will always continue to be the wind.
As for David, he wants to rebuild, but he's still heartbroken for his neighbors.
It really hit me today when people started coming back, you know, to see what was left and seeing the building completely flattened. It's just a pile of ash.
And firefighters and resources making their way here to this hillside right now. As ashes and those winds start to carry them throughout the area, there is concern that even more hot spots could be spread throughout Southern California. Reporting, I'm Nathan O'Neill.
Well, needless to say, we had lots of snow all across the region. First, it hit areas to our south and west of San Antonio, which looked amazing. It is so rare for them to get it. But of course, now there's more things happening across South Texas. So no matter where you go, it seems like to the west and north of us, we're getting snow. This is a live view from our WorldCar 4-zone camera in Kerrville. It's down to freezing, and it's coming down pretty good, but it is snowing. The flakes were a little easier to see a minute ago, but it's coming down a little bit harder. So if you have a camera or a phone, please take us some pictures, and I'll give you the number that you can send it to in just a second. Here's some we had earlier. Text SHARE to 44332. That is the best way that you're going to be able to send these pictures to us. Thank you to my friends in Bracketville, in Carrizo Springs, that got these pictures in Pipe Creek early this morning. But now the push is up here into the hill country. That's where we thought it was coming last night. It went this direction, but here it comes again. So now northwestern Bexar County, Bernie, Helotes, Hollywood Park, Timberwood Park, back over towards Canyon Lake, Wimberley, they're all getting already some light snow. So we'd love to get your pictures. Text them over to us. Future Tracker by 12:30 in the morning has it down south of Pleasanton with some of this light snow flurries hitting down along the coast. Do you believe that? Corpus Christi might even get some. What we have on the backside then is clearing skies and our first freeze for our area. So we got to be ready for that. Freeze warnings in effect for all this light blue and winter weather advisories to our south. Hard freeze for the Hill Country, Kerr County, Kendall, Real, Edwards, and Bandera. That's because it's going to be below freezing for a while. And of course, the other issue going up the interstates is black ice. If you're going up Interstate 10 towards Kerrville and it's below freezing, it's been raining for several days now. Plus, of course, the pets, the plants, the pipes, and the people. We got to worry about all of that. Tonight, 50-50 shot of rain and or snow with wind chills down to 25 in the city. And as you can see, we're going to be below freezing for about 4 to 5 hours. So that's a big issue. 4-zone freeze tomorrow. Man, 7 hours out west, 9 hours into the hill country, 4 hours out over the eastern zones, and 4 hours for us. 7-day forecast looks like that. We've got one freeze, and then after that, it starts to warm up. All of this is online at news4sa.com.
Everybody be really careful out there. It's going to get tricky overnight and into the morning hours for that morning commute. So we've got you covered, though.
No doubt about it. Well, we're well away from the game, but we're still talking about the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, we got to talk to the coaches today. They seem really excited. It's going to be a great matchup, a couple top 15 ranked teams. But remember what happened last time TCU played in San Antonio? Gary Patterson does, and he may have the answer to avoiding a bad first half this time around. We'll explain next.
After a long debate, SAWS has decided that your water bill will go up next year. Officials spoke with the city today, why they say this is needed, and more importantly, how much your bill is increasing. That's coming up tonight at 6.
There's part of the game that, as a head coach, you're not very smart. That's why I changed shirts. I thought to become a little bit smarter with the color, and then you come back.
Ah, yes, the infamous shirt change that helped TCU win the Alamo Bowl 2 years ago. I'm Hannah Trippett in for Don Harris tonight. Now, if you remember, Gary Patterson wore a black shirt in the first half of the game. His team trailed 31-0. He came out in the second wearing purple, and they won in triple overtime. So yeah, maybe purple really is his color. Either way, TCU's head coach is hoping he won't need a lucky shirt this year. Both coaches, Stanford's David Shaw along with Patterson, are in town today. It's another top 15 matchup at the Alamo Dome. Both teams fell short playing for their conference title just a week ago, so finishing the season with the win is a little extra motivation. But then again, maybe this all comes down to choosing which color shirt to wear.
I haven't decided yet, but probably because they've been on me so hard because, you know, our colors are purple and white. I'm probably starting to lean towards the purple a little bit, but I'm going to see, you know, a kind of a fashion thing. You know, by the end of the season, you know, us stocky guys, we don't look as good on high definition TV, and it's kind of a thin thing, you know, it helps you out a little bit. So I'm going to see what I look like by the time I get to the 25th, 26th, and then make a decision.
Okay, so he's a game time decision, everyone. Number 13 against number 15 on Thursday, December 28th at the Alamo Dome. Late 8 p.m. kickoff for this one. We'll talk a little more about the Alamo Bowl coming up at 6. You can hear from Stanford's head coach, David Shaw. Plus, we said Tony Parker is back last week, but we saw just how much progress he's really made last night. And how soon could we be able to see another familiar face on the court? The latest at 6. We'll be right back.
All right, live pictures out of Kerrville. That is snow. Is that snow,
That
Albert?
is snow.
That's not even sleet. That's not rain. That is snow. Those are flakes.
And perfect timing for the holidays. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Look at that picture right there. Christmas tree.
Are you going to sing Let It Snow, Let It Snow?
No, but you're going to tell us how the road conditions are going to shape up tonight, right?
Well, yes. The problem is, as it's already 32 there, but as it gets even, see, that's snow.
Oh, yeah.
As it
That's
gets colder
legit.
tonight, and you go up that Interstate 10, you know how it gets hilly, and you got those bridges. It's under those bridges where you could have some black ice, where it's just a thin sheet of ice that you cannot see on the road.
Yeah.
So if, in fact, you hit that, steer straight, do not hit your brakes, and try to glide through it.
If you don't have to be on it, don't.
Don't go. Yeah. We'll see you back here at 6 with another update.
See ya.